Everybody, welcome to the Clock of Doom. 5 minutes and 3 seconds before we get started tonight. I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I don't know much longer I'll be able to continuing to do the live cast. I might have to go back to putting the games up at 7:30 on a tape delay basis. Job situation, a job I could be coming into might take up some time. So stand by. Worst comes to worst, you always see the game at 7:30. At worst comes to worst, I could always tape it in the afternoon or the morning. With 4.5 minutes left to go, I am just going to check here and see if I am transmitting, which I am. You're going to hear myself from a few seconds ago in just a moment. So stand by, please. With 4.5 minutes left to go. There we go. Okay. Always got to double check and be sure everything is working. And it looks like everything is. 4 minutes to go. How about those Rays, huh? Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay becoming the title town. Uh, I was just reading an email from Fox Sports that I get. They put out some promotional material from time to time in their emails, and they were saying, yeah, well, Los Angeles won the NBA title and Tampa Bay won the NHL title, so this will decide who is the best team in 2020. Of course, I think San Francisco and actually Kansas City have something to say about that, but Kansas City, of course, won the Super Bowl earlier this year, 2020. I got the sense watching that Super Bowl that it was going to be the last Super Bowl before something big happened. And of course, about a month later, we found out that everything was going to be shutting down because of coronavirus, and it's been kind of that way since. Uh, the country's slowly coming back, and of course now some countries in Europe are shutting down again. Wales and Ireland, I was just reading today, have shut down or recommending to be shut down again because of the virus returning with the colder weather coming. We're down to 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go. This is kind of like my little warm up act before I get started with the game. Kind of like if you go on a game show, they do a warm up, they have a comedian doing a warm up. Well, it used to be in the good old days. I don't know if it is now. Um, if anybody has ever attended a taping of The Price is Right, do they still have people warming up the audience? I imagine they would. Uh, Maybe George Gray does it, the guy who used to host The Weakest Link, or Jane Lynch doing Weakest Link nowadays. I guess they have somebody warming up the crowd for her. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Minnesota and Dallas is the game tonight in Minnesota. So that'll be a good one. Of course, well, I'm going to save my material for later on. 2 minutes to go. Of course, we had a couple of NFL games going on tonight. Let me see if I can get the scores to you real quick at 7:28 and change. Kind of doing my own little 2 minute drill. Chiefs and the Bills were playing tonight. See, I don't watch football because of all the political crap. I would just rather, baseball. I'll watch my Tampa Bay teams when they make the playoffs, but I really don't care for it as long as everything is being politicized. It's 23-10, Kansas City leading Buffalo, and then later tonight they have Arizona and Dallas. Minute 20 to go. I just think that these leagues made deals with the devil, I guess, to keep open, to stay open, and they should be politically neutral. If you cut off half your audience, it only means doom for your league, and I think a lot of the various sports found that out in these last few months. Football, a lot of places you can't draw a crowd because of the COVID restrictions. Of course, the NHL, the NBA, and Major League Baseball are all played at neutral sites this year. They finished their seasons at neutral sites because of the bubble. And they were smart to do a bubble because it kept them going. So we're down to about 36, 35, 34 seconds. So we'll stand by. You can watch the clock of doom tick away. And we will get started here. Minnesota hosting Dallas as we do the sixth video of a game. We did six. We'll look for the recap show that I did last week. We'll do another one next week. And we're now down to the final countdown. So I'm going to fade to black here. And we'll get started. Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims proudly presents, he said, HTFL Football, the Hometown Football League. Tonight we have Dallas at Minnesota. The Vikings taking on the combination of the Dallas Texans, who played before they moved to Kansas City from 1960 to 1962, and of course the Dallas Cowboys, who've been playing ever since 1960. Hello out there. We're on the air. It's football night tonight. It's a parody of the great hockey song of Stomping Tom Connors. This is Big Paulie coming to you. There you see the big board of standings and whatnot, and we will look at the standings once this game is finished. We have not Philadelphia. I'm off to a bad start tonight, but I'm off to a bad start every night. It's Dallas and Minnesota. Dallas will be controlled by the computer. I will be controlling Minnesota, the Minnesota Vikings. There was a sportscaster around here by the name of Chris Thomas, who has passed away about a decade ago or so by now, as we fire up this game. And he would do, on Fridays, he would do a show where people would pick against the Vegas point spread. And anybody picked Minnesota, he'd go, Minnesota Vikings. So we're indoors at the U.S. Bank Stadium. TCF Stadium was where they used to play when they had to borrow facilities from the University of Minnesota. Minnesota has the home field advantage for, of course, being the home team. And Dallas won the toss, deferred, so Minnesota will receive. Dallas will be in white, kind of a grayish white, and Minnesota will be in the purple. Tony Romo and Franz Harkington, your respective quarterbacks. Tom Landry and Bud Grant will be the respective coaches. Of course, Dallas is playing as we play the HTFL. They'll be playing Arizona by the time this Monday Night Football game ends. By the time this game ends on Monday night, which is technically not Monday night, it's like a Sunday game, it's Harvin, Nelson, and West back deep for the Vikings, if I haven't confused you already. And this is going to be taken by Nelson, who returns at 21 yards to 27. Darren Nelson out of the University of Stanford. So your starting running backs are Peterson and Brown, the wide receivers Carter and Moss, Jordan at tight end, Tarkenton at quarterback, Zimmerman, McDaniel, Tingelhoff, White, and Yerry will be your offensive line. How about this defense here for Dallas? Jones, Martin, White, Lilly are your front four. Chuck Howley, Hedrick, Ware are going to be your linebackers. Emerson Walls, Renfro, Woodson, Green. Those are your defensive backs. And on 1st and 10, we're going to give it to Peterson. Of course, now is with the Washington Football Club that shall no longer be named. The Redskins. 7-yard gain for Peterson. Emerson Walls on the tackle. This game is underway. We'll go 3 wide, and it's going to be a wide receiver screen to Randy Moss on 2nd and 3. Try to mix it up a little bit. And Moss out to the 41, a pickup of 7. So a 1st and 10 at the 41. These two teams had quite a rivalry back in the 70s. We're going to go trap right, Adrian Peterson. Blitz coming. We'll change it to a screen to Brown. And is Tarkenton down with the Brown? He is. 40, 50, all the way down to the 42. Harvey Martin is out of the game. He has been injured. So coming in to substitute for him is George Andre out of Marquette. Played on the late 60s Cowboys teams that were so good. These two teams, Dallas and Minnesota, played quite a few playoff games against each other in the 70s. I was just looking. Pitch to Anderson, off tackle right. And I think Minnesota will pound the rock a little more with Harvey Martin not in. A gain of 5. At the Hail Mary game in 1975, the game where Dallas was trailing late, but they got Staubach threw a long pass to Drew Pearson with about 30 seconds to go. And you learned the term Hail Mary from that game. Sweep left, Bill Brown. And Brown will be close to first down yardage. He does get the first down, a pickup of 5. So Minnesota moving rather methodically. They're going to go double tight end, which will bring Jordan and Rudolph in as the tandem. Steve Jordan, Kyle Rudolph, and they'll go back to Adrian Peterson. Try to blow Dallas off the line. Peterson, another gain, 4 yards. And it's 3 carries and 16 yards already for Adrian Peterson. The look to Randy Moss here on the slant. Confidence is high that Minnesota can throw on these great Cowboy defense. A gain of 7. Hedrick makes the stop, and it's 1st and 10 again for Minnesota. We'll trap it left with Peterson this time. A run to the weak side, a gain of 6. Cornell Green, will be out a few plays. So Minnesota just bruising this Dallas defense, this doomsday-ish defense, and Cliff Harris comes in one of the safety spots at free safety. We'll go Brown on a dive on 2nd and 4. Blitz coming, so we'll change it to a screen. Brown is very capable out of the backfield, as we've learned. And that's going to be to the house, a touchdown for Minnesota. Bill Brown out of Illinois. And it's 6-0 in favor of the Vikings. Your point after try is good by Walsh. And Minnesota with a 9-play, 73-yard drive that took 4:58 off the clock. And it's Minnesota leading 7-0 before Dallas could even touch the ball. Marsh, Renfro, and somebody else back deep for Dallas. In fact, let me just call up the roster and show you it was Marsh, Renfro, and Ishmael. Call me Ishmael. Here's your Dallas offense. Smith and Walker, the tandem running backs. That's not a bad combination. Michael Irvin and Chris Burford are your wide receivers. Witten at tight end. Romo quarterbacking. Wright, Allen, Frederick, Martin, and Smith, your offensive line. Talk about a good defense. Here's Minnesota's. Eller, Dolman, Page, Randall. That's your front 4. Blair, Simeon, Winston are your linebackers. Bryant, Rhodes, Browner, Kraus. Those are your defensive backs. And let's see what Romo can do here on 1st and 10. He throws long, complete, and we have to double check because there are 2 88s in the game, and it is Michael Irvin with a big pickup of 35 yards, hammered by Rhodes. You see it there, Chris Burford and Michael Irvin. Burford does not play with the Chiefs because this is the hometown football league. He plays for Dallas. 1st and 10 at the 45. This is a give to Herschel Walker, and Walker, who doesn't have the glamorous stats that Emmitt Smith has had so far this season, he gains 8. Simeon on the tackle. We'll take a look at his stats real fast. 73 carries, 243 yards, 4 touchdowns rushing, 26 catches out of the backfield for 230 yards, 2 touchdowns receiving. 2nd and 2, ball at the 37. Of course, Walker, very much a fan of the man who is the current president, because that man used to own the New Jersey Generals. 3rd and 2, a team that Walker used to play for. A gain of 9. Alan Page is hurt. That was Romo to Witten. Both these men experienced behind the mic. Jason Witten retired for a year to analyze Monday Night Football on ESPN a couple of years ago, but he is now back. 1st and 10 at the 28. Romo to Walker. And Herschel Walker, a gain of 12. 1st down, Dallas. So both teams, sometimes when you get 2 defenses together, the offenses flourish because they can both figure it, because they are both have something to prove, and they both might be looking for something to prove. Romo back on 1st and 10. Here's your throw. Caught by Burford, a gain of 9, but it's coming back.
Number 72, 10-yard penalty.
Frederick called for holding. Just like sometimes you see 2 great offenses get together and it turns into a defensive struggle. Des Bryant, who also wears 88, so you got 88's wild in the wide receiver core. 1st and 20 to 26. Remember the Super Bowl with New England and the LA Rams, which New England won 13-3. I think everybody was expecting that game to be a higher scoring affair. That was the Super Bowl, the 2018-2019 season, of course. Second and 13 at the 19. Romo throwing, completing, touchdown. It's to Irvin, Michael Irvin, out of the University of Miami. A 7-play, 80-yard drive. The kick, good, and we're dead even at 7-7. That was Dan Bailey on the extra point. So Percy Harvin back deep for Minnesota. It's going to be a touchback because he is 9 yards deep in his end zone. Both running backs at full strength. Peterson was getting a little tired at the end of the drive. Here he is on 1st and 10. A marker. That could be holding.
Holding offense. Number 67, 10-yard penalty.
White called for the hold in its 1st and 20, and that'll force Rand Tarkenton to throw on the earlier downs. They're going to go Randy Moss again. He's open. He's got it. A gain of 13. Randy Moss out of Marshall University. Played for many teams, but most notably was a outstanding rookie when he entered the league in 1998 with the Minnesota Vikings. He would go on to play with the Raiders. He played for the Patriots for a while. I think he played for a few other teams. Short out. Again to Randy Moss on 2nd and 7. Tarkenton must like the matchup, but it's incomplete. A 3rd and 7 now. And they're going to go to Percy Harvin, who enters the game as a third wide receiver. Caught. Close to the first, but he's short by a few inches. Nice tackle by Woodson to prevent the first down. And Bob Lee, who was a understudy at quarterback for Fran Tarkenton back in the 70s, although he was successful in the playoffs in that Mud Bowl game in Los Angeles in 77, he punts it away, and the return was not bad. 7 yards for Martin. The punt went 38, so the net 31 yards. 1st and 10 for Dallas, a 7-7 tie, 4:33 left to go. 1st and 10. Smith, tackled by Winston, a gain of 8. That moves the ball to the 47 for a 2nd and 2. Pitch to Emmitt Smith, one of the great running backs out of the University of Florida. He gains 9, and Smith had 100 yards last week in the game with the New York Football Giants. 1st and 10, the ball now at the Minnesota 44. I saw Emmitt play. Oh, that's a catch. Hold that thought, folks. Touchdown. We'll get to that later. Jason Witten with the quick strike, 44 yards. And it's 13-7. Dallas, your point after, good. And it's 14-7. I saw Emmitt Smith play in 1984 in a high school game. I'll tell you the story about that after the kick return by perhaps Percy Harvin. He takes it at the goal line. Not afraid to break one. Return of 23. The big high school team in Tampa Bay in 1984 was St. Petersburg High School, the Green Devils, coached by Jim Miwa, who I once met, doing public address announcing and stats for Largo High School, a little up the road. Green spins down Peterson, a gain of 2. Will go to Brown on an off-tackle right play. So St. Pete goes down to Naples, beats Laley High School. They beat a high school in Titusville, and then they beat a team in Homestead, Florida, which was the famous epicenter of Hurricane Andrew in 1992. 3rd and 5. Let's set up this play, and I'll get back to the story. Steve Jordan on the hitch. Caught a first down. And it was Renfro on the tackle, a gain of 9. We'll go back to Peterson on the pitch right. So, St. Pete High goes up to Pensacola and plays Escambia High for the state championship. This was before the Florida championships were played at neutral sites. And St. Pete gets smoked by Escambia. I forget what the final score was, but Emmitt Smith had a very big game uh, against the Green Devils, and that's how I knew that Emmitt Smith was going to be a very big name in the world of football, which he has become, and he made the Hall of Fame. And while I was talking, the first quarter ended. So your score: Dallas 14 and Minnesota 7. So you get to hear me talk a little more. Here's your next 5 games: Houston and Kansas City. That'll be tomorrow night. All these games 7:30. And I will either do them live or I will tape them earlier in the day and show them to you at 7:30. Tennessee and St. Louis, Las Vegas, Green Bay, Los Angeles and Washington, which will be the Monday night game technically. And then we start a new week, which will be the Thanksgiving week of the HTFL. I know it's a little early for Thanksgiving, but one of the 2 games scheduled for Thanksgiving will be Atlanta at Detroit. A couple of teams, though, records aren't that great, but because it's a Thanksgiving game, we will show it to you. That'll be 7:30. The other Thanksgiving game will be Dallas at Green Bay. Because of the way the computer did the schedule, Dallas was not at home, and I couldn't shift Green Bay to play in Dallas, so that's how I resolved it. I'll make it a night game. So that's your schedule. The next 5 games right here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel, the home of the Hometown Football League. Back to the game. 2nd and 14. Harvin, medium fly. That's caught. Gain of 15. Jim Miwa, who, as I was saying, was the coach at St. Petersburg, was a teammate of Bob Greasy's at Purdue. Look that up. Screen, Adrian Peterson. Of course, Bob Greasy went on to play with the Dolphins after his days at Purdue were over. Of course, there's a very big quarterback right now out of Purdue, Drew Brees. Medium hitch, Steve Jordan. 2nd and 10. Caught. That's a gain of 17, but check the marker here.
Holding.
Oh, coming back.
Number 65, 10-yard penalty.
Zimmerman called for holding. 2nd and 20. We'll go Peterson on the screen route, which might work because Dallas playing loosey-goosey. And, not much of a gain. In fact, Peterson loses 3 yards to the disbelief of the faithful here at Minneapolis. Long hitch, Randy Moss. 3rd and 23. Just chuck that baby in the air. Peterson, first down, bobbing, weaving. And he will score. How about that? 65 yards. Adrian Peterson, nicely done. 14-13. Your point after is good by Walsh, and we're dead even at 14 all. There you see it there. 8 plays, 77 yards. And now Dallas gets it back on the kickoff. Here's Marsh, touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20. Emmett. A gain of 4. Dolman on the stop for Minnesota. 2nd and 6. See what happens. Throw into traffic. Williams tipped by Blair, but incomplete nonetheless. Now, 3rd and 6. Ball at the 24. Throw. Incomplete.
Holding. Offense. Number 70, 10-yard penalty.
Martin called for a hold. 3rd and 16 at the 14. So let's see what we have here. I can get the computer to run the next play. There we go. Romo in the shotgun. Throws. Incomplete. Romo is 6 of 9, 126 yards. I forgot to give you the team stats. 155 yards on 13 plays for Dallas. 180 for Minnesota. They have run 20 plays, so you're all caught up. Here's the punt return. Danny White punting. And it is West returning. But actually, he didn't make a return. It was a fair catch. So the punt went 48 yards. and we will get started with the next series. 12:02 left. Second quarter, 14 all. Peterson, trap left. Peterson with 3 catches and 69 yards. He has 4 yards rushing to add to his total of 24 yards rushing on 7 plays, 7 rushes. Go back to him on a screen because the last time we had it, it worked so well. Peterson, 40, 50 to the 48 of Dallas. And now Peterson with the season high, 79 yards receiving. Both these teams lighting up the scoreboard a bit, and we didn't expect that. Brown, trap right. A fumble recovered by Minnesota. That was White, one of the linemen, playing right guard, making the fumble recovery, and it's 2nd and 7. Trap it right. Adrian Peterson again. Gain of 6 yards. Green on the stop. 3rd and a yard. A little trickeration now. We're going to go play action out of a tight formation. Give it to Carter. Chris Carter. There's the throw. Oh, over his head. Incomplete. So now, 4th and a yard at the 39. The field goal would be only about a 32% chance of making it. We are going for it. An 86% chance Peterson gets the first down. Let's gamble. And it's going to be close. They get it. They get the first down. Not by much at all. Peterson now 9 carries, 31 yards. Brown 3-11, 3 carries, 11 yards, 2 catches, 32 yards. Tarkenton is going to run. Sweep left in the double tight end set. And he's not afraid to call his own number out of the University of Georgia. He gains 5. And Hedrick knocks him out at the 33. 2nd and 5. How about off tackle right, Bill Brown. And he cannot find the hole. 1 yard gain, and that is all. Setting up 3rd and 4. Hitch, Steve Jordan. He's got it. A first down. A gain of 9. Green with a knee injury, and he stays in the game. Moss, quick slant. Blitz coming, so this is the perfect play call, I think. Oh, off his hands, incomplete. 2nd and 10 at the 23. We have 5:53 now left. Opening half, a 14-all tie. Peterson, that off-tackle play again, tries to bounce to the right side after hitting the line, and Lilly brings him down, a gain of 2. Ball at the 21 for a 3rd and 8. They'll go back to the 3-wide set. Medium pass, and we're going to look for Chris Carter. Though Moss would probably be the better target. Incomplete. Check the marker.
Grabbing the face mask. Defense.
Against Dallas.
Automatic. First down.
Andre with the face mask call. 1st and goal at the 10. They'll go Brown. Trap right. This time he finds a hole. Touchdown. Minnesota. Bill Brown again. I believe that is his 2nd of the day. It is. Brown caught a pass for Tarkenton for the first touchdown, and now he has run one in from 11 yards out for the 2nd. Here is your point after by Walsh. Good. And it's 21-14. So we have had 2 instances of a 14-point run unanswered. Dallas had a 14 points unanswered run. Now Minnesota has followed in kind. A drive, 12 plays, 62 yards. It went 7:09. Marsh back deep for Dallas. And I don't have my chat box up. So if anybody has said anything, hello, Al Red Sox fan. How are you, sir? 1st and 10 at the 20. My apologies for not getting to you earlier. Screen to Emmett. Short by a few inches. And let's see here. That's going to be 2nd and inches at the 30. I have to keep a window open to see who's in chat. And sometimes when I am moving the screens around and the slides around, I forget to put the chat box open again. 2nd and 10 at the 30. Thanks for dropping by, Al. If you've already departed or if you're still here, I thank you. 3rd and inches, ball at the 30 now. That was an incomplete pass to Herschel Walker. And Walker, this time he gets the first down, a gain of 2. Paul Krause, not a bad not a bad shortstop, not a bad safety back in his day with the Vikings. 1st and 10 at the 32. Oh, all is well, Rays are going to the World Series, so we're very happy about that. And that was a long throw to Irvin, tipped by Browner. And it's 2nd and 10 at the 32. 3:04 left. Each team with all 3 timeouts still. Screen, Walker moves a little closer, 6 yards. Be a 3rd and 4. And let's see here. I do not want to call a timeout. I want to save my timeouts. 3rd and 4 at the 38. Well, I know why you like Fran Tarkenton now, because you had that Fran Tarkenton football game. Incomplete. So it's going to be 4th and 4. And Dallas will have to punt. Here's Danny White punting to Mr. West. I think it's Ed West. And he catches it at the 15. It's going to be a nice return for West of 17 yards. And that punt went 47. So Minnesota gets it back. They lead 21-14 with 2:19 left. And they have a 1st and 10. Go for the quick strike here. Why the heck not? Long fly, Randy Moss. He's 81. They throw to him. Caught. A gain of 20. And it's a 1st and 10 at the 48. They won't be able to get another playoff with the hurry up, so we will go to the 2-minute warning. And it's 21-14 Minnesota. We're going to screen to Peterson. Peterson had a nice long touchdown pass earlier in the game. He had 65 yards, and it was beautiful. He was dodging and weaving like he was in Minneapolis traffic, and he found the end zone. 2nd and 10. Ball still resting at the 48. We're going to go medium hitch to Randy Moss. Moss, incomplete. 2nd drop of the day. For some reason, he has a favorable matchup against Kevin Smith, and they are putting Carter up against Emerson Walls. So that's your receiver and defender matchups here. 3rd and 10. Medium out. Percy Harvin will go to the 3rd wide receiver. Throw over the head of Harvin. And it's 4th and 10, and they have left the Cowboys plenty of time. Sideline punt for Bobby Lee. And it is caught at the 17, a fair catch. Martin, the return man who didn't return it. 1st and 10, the ball at the 17. I think I said that already. 1:36 left. Each team still with all 3 timeouts. They give it to Emmett, which is kind of a surprise. Dallas, will they use a timeout here? They will. They have 2 left. 2nd and 10. Romo flushed out of the pocket. He throws to Walker, but Winston was providing tight coverage, and it's 3rd and 10 now to 17. Throw incomplete, looking for Irvin, hammered by Rhodes. So now Minnesota gets a shot at it again. 1:16 to go. Fair caught by West at the 45. Danny White on the punt. So it's 1st and 10 from there. And we will go to Percy Harvin, medium out. Blitz coming, so we're going to change it to a slant to Randy Moss. But a marker.
False start. Offense. Number 73, 5-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
That is Yeri who gets called for the false start. 1st and 15. Quite a bit of offense in this game, I am discovering. 424 yards of it so far. Screen to Peterson on 1st and 15. Remember, they got 3 timeouts still. Peterson will be close to the 1st down. No, just short. But he did get out of bounds, reversed his field, and it'll be 2nd and inches. Now, you play it cool here if you're Minnesota, because look what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw the bomb to Randy Moss. 2nd and inches. Try to take advantage. There it is. Touchdown, Minnesota. Randy Moss from 45 yards out. Longest catch of the year. Thought Dallas would play tight on 2nd and short, so I figured that'd be a good play to call. 27-14, Minnesota. Your point after is good by Walsh. 28-14 with 48 seconds left in the first half. Marsh again back deep for Dallas, and it's another touchback. A lot of touchbacks in this game. 1st and 10 at the 20. Maybe it's because you got a whole bunch of good kickers. Gain of 8, Emmitt Smith. And will Minnesota play, Dallas just play conservatively here? Yes, they will. They're in no hurry to run the next play. And no gain to Walker. Dolman on the stop. 19 seconds left. I'm also content just to let the clock run. Last probably play of the half. Walker, gain of 4. 8 seconds left, but it's a first down, so I don't want to give Dallas any favors by stopping the clock for them. Oh, Dallas has one timeout. So, 1st and 10 at the 32, and a 3-1 quarter deep zone prevent, just in case Dallas wants to throw a Hail Mary on us, which wouldn't be the first time. And that's your half. 28-14, Minnesota leading Dallas. As we have crossed the 8 o'clock hour. I know that because my computer just dims a little bit to save my eyes. I am looking to see if anything big has happened in the world. And the answer right now is negatory. So, Dallas 185 yards, 26 plays. Minnesota 311 on 38. So they are being dominant in terms of time of possession. They nearly have a 2-1 advantage there, 1954 to 10:06. Marsh back deep. Cowboys will get it again because they deferred the opening kickoff. Coin toss. 1st and 10 at the 20. Long throw. Completed to Irvin. They've been trying that play an awful lot. 27 yards. Rhodes on the tackle. Irvin, that was his 3rd catch of the day, 81 yards. Romo is 9 out of 17 for 169. He has thrown 2 touchdowns. We have had no turnovers so far in this game. 1st and 10 at the 47. Nice little game of pitch and catch. Nice gain by Emmitt.
Offense, number 73, 10-yard penalty.
Allen called for holding. Now, as I was saying earlier, hello, Mousy Dread. How are you? My first greetings from outside the United States. So, I welcome that. 1st and 20, the ball at the 37. It's Romo. Thrown and caught by Jason Witten. He gains 15. Krause pancakes him. 2nd and 5 at the 48. I was watching the Minnesota-Dallas game from 1975, as I had mentioned in the little warm-up that I do. No gain for Emmitt Smith, Carl Eller on the stop. And the analyst for that game, that was carried by CBS, Romo to Witten, he gains 14. Krause on the tackle for Minnesota. So now it's 1st and 10 at the minute 34. You might not, if you didn't know and you didn't look it up, you might not know who the color analyst was. It was Gary Bender doing play-by-play, 1st and 10 at the 34. They did not have the top crew, Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire, doing the game. In fact, CBS usually would not let Summerall and Brookshire do a game because they had a bowl game assignment. They usually had the Sun Bowl to do. 2nd and 7 at the 31. And one year, Summerall and Brookshire, I'll get the 2nd and 7 play out, had a guest color analyst,
Holding
Burt
offense,
Reynolds.
Number 77, 10-yard penalty.
Holding against Smith, and it'll be 2nd and 17. And Burt Reynolds would sometimes do preseason for the Buccaneer games in the late 70s on Channel 13 here in Tampa. 2nd and 17 at the 41. Romo's going to run, and it's a nice one, 11 yards. And it's 3rd and 6 at the 30. All okay, says Mousy Dread. And thank you for subscribing, by the way. We are up to 67 subscribers, 3rd and 6 at the 30. But to give you the punchline of who did the analysis, well, we got something happening here. Romo, Dallas keeps possession, but they lose 6 yards, and it's going to be 4th and 12 at the 36. I'll get back to my punchline in a moment. I'm going to watch for the fake here because it's so deep in Dallas territory, Minnesota territory, and it was a perfect punt by White, and it goes out of bounds at the 2. I have a little crowd here tonight. I thank you both, Al Red Sox fan and Mousy Dread. Johnny Unitas did the color commentary for CBS on that game, so if you're ever wondering. Loss of a yard. Peterson now. They don't want to do a safety dance here. Men without hats, 1983. Hedrick tackles him at the 1, so now Minnesota has to be super careful. In fact, I'm going to have Tarkenton dive play just to get a little more running room here. Blitz is coming. Oh, and Tarkenton, did he get out of his own end zone? Yes, he did. Howley on the stop, a gain of 1. That's right, Al. Bert did play football for Florida State, and CBS used him for one of the Sun Bowls. I think it was the LSU Washington Sun Bowl. I don't remember offhand what year that was. Off tackle right, Adrian Peterson. Now imagine those three, Summerall, Brookshire, and Reynolds, had a hell of a party. The booze was flowing. Medium slant, Randy Moss. Tarkenton will throw it in his own end zone, and it's completed. And Randy Moss has a 100-yard game. He's at 102 with a 17-yard catch. I'm trying to wonder if Moss has had a 100-yard game yet this year. And the answer is yes. This is his 3rd. He had 119 against Detroit and 124 against Cincinnati. He had 7 catches in the Detroit game, 5 in Cincinnati. Well, anyway. Peterson, off tackle right, 1st and 10 from the 18. This is a gain of 3, and Lilly makes the stop, and it'll be 2nd and 7. Right here, we're going to go Jordan on the short hitch. Oh, out of nowhere, Andre comes in and lowers the boom on Tarkenton.
Defense. Number 66, 5-yard penalty.
Anderson would have had a sack, but he is also called for encroachment. So, 2nd and 2. Now, this is another situation where I'm tempted to throw long. We'll go to Carter on the bomb. Look for number 80. Tarkenton's going to scramble instead. 30 to the 34. Pickup of 8. And it's 1st and 10 again. 6:30 to go. Brown. Trap right. Brown out of the University of Illinois. Gain of 2. Green on the stop. Cornell Green. And it's 2nd and 8 at the 36. Anthony Carter. This is a good question, Mousy Dread. Anthony Carter is the 4th wide receiver. I'll show you here. It's Chris Carter, Randy Moss, Percy Harvin, and Anthony Carter. So when I use 4, Anthony Carter is the 4th wideout. Anthony Carter was another great college player out of the University of Michigan. Hitch to Jordan. Very underrated. That's a gain of 9. Tarkenton to Jordan, Steve Jordan. And Renfro made the stop. Renfro was a great return man in his day. Mel Renfro played on the Dallas teams of the late 60s, early 70s. This is a very good question now. First and 10 at the 45. Trap right, Peterson. Peterson getting a lot of carries tonight. Gain of 7. Harvey Martin, if you're just tuning in, was hurt in the first quarter. They've brought George Andre in, substitute for him. And Minnesota's been running the ball a bit more. 13 carries, 42 yards for Peterson, and he has 5 catches for 94. Second and 3, they'll go up the gut with Bill Brown. And that's a loss of a yard. Bob Lilly on the stop. He'll try to sell Bill Brown some hardware. Third and 4, cross to Steve Jordan. And let's see. 10-yard gain. Renfro on the tackle. Mel Renfro, and Tarkenton now 18 of 25, 287 yards. We have had so far in this game, let me see here, 614 yards. So both teams getting their offense in. Off tackle left, Peterson. He gained 6. Hedrick on the stop for the Cowboys. And it's second and 4. Anthony Carter was also a great return man when he played for Michigan. Pitch right, Andrew Peterson. I used to be a big Notre Dame fan, and there was one game they played against Notre Dame where it was 0-0 at halftime, and Michigan won 28-0 because they couldn't stop Anthony Carter on the punt returns. On that play, a 12-yard gain for Peterson. DeMarcus Ware makes the tackle for Dallas, and it's first and 10 at the 21. We'll go Percy Harvin over the middle, slant, which should be a good call. 54 seconds left in the quarter. Oh, incomplete, but a marker. Could be pass interference, and it is.
Defense. Number 28, automatic, first down.
So Woodson with the PI, and it's first and 10 at the 14. Peterson getting tired, so we're going to use Bill Brown on the trap right. Nearing the end of quarter number 3, and Brown having a good game. Another pickup of 6. 8 carries, 29 yards for him on the day, but some of the carries he has had have been clutch, including an 11-yard touchdown earlier. We'll go right back to Brown on the dive. This should be the final play of the quarter. But look at this. We have a short, tight formation being called by Dallas. I'm going to go to Jordan on a medium hitch. Try to beat it. Oh, incomplete. Woodson jumped in front of Jordan and swatted the pass away. We have 3 seconds left. Third and 4. Critical play here for the Vikings, even though a field goal would give them a 3-score lead. So what do we do? I'm going to put blocking in, and it's going to be a screen to Chris Carter. Might not work, but we'll see. Incomplete. And we go to the fourth quarter. It is 28-14 in favor of Minnesota. And this time next week, we'll have the recap show. We'll be recapping the non-televised games. There are 16 games every week in Hometown Football League action. I am going to pick the 6 games that I think wouldn't be attractive matchups, and we'll do those games, and we will recap them. I'll press the auto button, have the games auto-played, and you'll see the results. And I'll show you the league leaders, the possible playoff matchups, and probably do a few other things. That is the recap show. That'll be 6:30. I will tape it in advance. A week from tonight, right here on the Hometown Football League and the Big Paulie's World of Sports Sims channel. Now that I got that out of the way, let's see here. 4th and 4, field goal time. Blair Walsh will come in. This is from 25 yards. Good. 31-14 in favor of Minnesota. Oh, yeah, that's right. Anthony Carter played on the Michigan Panthers, and he was great on the Panthers. Good Lord. Marsh, Renfro, and Ishmael back deep for Dallas, but it's another touchback. Tony Hill comes in. He is wearing number 80. He is the fourth wideout. Of course, everybody else wearing 88. Chris Brifford, Des Bryant, and Michael Irvin. First and 10 Dallas. They have some work to do now. Forgetting to give you the total yardage summary. 249 for Dallas on 34 plays. Over here, Minnesota has 53 plays and 389 yards. Second and 10, ball to 20. Throw, incomplete. That is to Burford. Might have been intercepted by Kraus. 61% chance of a successful challenge. What the heck? Let's use it.
Upon further review, the ball was secured before it hit the ground. Interception.
We're going the other way.
Will be charged.
Kraus with the pick. His first, I don't know how many picks that is this year. It is his first pick, so my instincts were correct. Oh, Houston and Jim Kelly. Oh, that was a great offense. The run and shoot. First and 10 at the 38. And I think it's time to make Dallas pay for their sins. Moss, play action, long pass. But here's the problem. Dallas is playing deep and loose, so we're going to go zone Peterson, not zone screen. There he is, 40, 30 to the 27. And Peterson now over 105 yards. At 105 yards, he goes over 100 receiving. And that might be the first time he has gone over 100 yards receiving. We'll take a look here. He has had 4 games over 100 rushing. But, yeah, that is the first time he has gone over 100 receiving. Let's look at Peterson again just to give you the statistics. He's at 904 yards, so he's at 964 up to date. And he's had 6 catches today, 105, so add that to his replay stats. He's at 25, and his receiving yards are 290. First and 10, ball to 27. Peterson, trap right. And here we go. Peterson, a gain of 3. Tarkenton, 19 to 28, 298 yards. He has 3 touchdowns. Jordan, short cross. Ball to 24. Incomplete. Greg Landry. Now there's a name, Al Red Sox fan. 3rd and 7. And I did not know UMass had a football program prior to recent years, so that's kind of interesting. Of course, UMass also had Dr. J. Medium fly, Steve Jordan. Gain of 15. Tarkenton to Jordan. Tarkenton now over 300 yards passing today. And it's first and goal at the 9. Minnesota should really be calming down and pounding the rock here. Off tackle left, Peterson. A blitz. Make it a screen to Peterson. What the heck? Might have trouble this far into Dallas territory, and he did. Incomplete pass. Second and goal at the 9. We'll go Brown. Off tackle right. And Bill Brown has his 2nd touchdown rushing of the day and his 3rd overall. And this was a close game for most of the first half. Now it has turned into a rout, 37 to 14. Your point after, good by Walsh, and it's 38-14, and we have 12:07 left to go in quarter number 4. And here we go. We have Marsh back deep for Dallas. And it's another touchback. First and 10. Romo's got a lot of work to do. He's only 11 out of 21, so Dallas has not gotten a lot of time of possession. I'm pretty sure Romo complete to Irvin, a gain of 24. He's at 105 yards on the day, so he goes over the 100-yard mark. First and 10, ball to 44. Gain of 8. Bryant with the pass catch by Romo. Lee on the tackle for the Vikings. Second and 2 at the 48. Now, see, they played a exhibition game that year in '83. It wasn't televised back here in the states. I think it was Minnesota and St. Louis. Gain of 6. That was Romo to Irvin. He's at 111 yards. That is Irvin in his statistics. First and 10. Ball at the 42 of Minnesota. See if they can get a consolation touchdown here.
Offense. Number 77, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
They book Smith. I believe that is Smith the right tackle, not Smith the running back. And let's see. We now have a first and 15 situation. Ball at the 47. Romo looking and finding that is Burford that was open. Burford played on the Dallas Texans, coached by Hank Stram, before they moved to Kansas City, so that's why he's a Cowboy in this game, this season. 13-yard pickup. Second and 2, the ball now at the 34. Romo going to be throwing a lot. Hope his shoulder doesn't get hurt. Gain of 6. That is to Irvin. He has now his 6th catch of the day, and that's a season high in catches. First and 10, ball at the 28 with 9:08 left now. Fourth quarter. To Emmitt Smith, he gains 5. Paul Krause on the tackle. That's a nice name. Second and 5, ball at the 23. Romo. Another pass over the middle. We have to wait and see who it was because they're all wearing 88s except Tony Hill. It's Burford, a gain of 11. Burford now has 2 catches, 24 yards. They haven't been throwing to him too much. They've all seem to have been going to Michael Irvin. A first and 10 at the 12. Romo throwing a touchdown. This one's to Dez Bryant, and it's 38-20 with 6:54 left in regulation. Here's your point after try by Dan Bailey. It is good. Surprised that, and they probably don't have this in the computer algorithm, that they didn't go for 2 there. Even though if you get 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions, the odds on hitting all 3 twos would be like about 12.5%. A little surprised that Dallas didn't try for 2. It would have been 38-22. You would have been down 16. I'm going to watch for the onside kick. And they kick deep. Dallas hoping they could play some defense, but they haven't all
Illegal
game.
block. Receiving team, 10-yard penalty.
Blair called for the illegal block, and Minnesota starts in a hole at their own 9. Trap right, Peterson. And that was a gain of 6 yards. Second and 4, ball at the 15. Now, see, have you ever heard of a sitcom in Britain called Are You Being Served? We get it all. We used to get it all the time over here. Pitch right, Peterson. Gain of 2. It was like set in a department store in London, and John Inman was one of the characters in it. Off tackle right, Peterson on 3rd and 2. Yes, we're gonna run it on 3rd and 2. Well, 4th down. You'll see a little more passing from Romo here. Lee on the punt. 4th and 3. You knew football was taking off in the UK. First and 10, Dallas starting at their own 49 when John Inman wore the Seattle Seahawks jersey on one of the episodes. There was a throw and a catch to Paul Krause. No, not to Paul Krause, but to Tony Hill. He gains 15. Krause made the tackle. First and 10 at the 36. Near the end of its initial run in 1984, yeah. One of the episodes starts with John Inman coming in as Mr. Humphreys, and he's wearing a Seahawks uniform or a helmet or something like that. Gain of 8 yards. Romo has now gone over 300. That was to Emmitt Smith. And Mrs. Slocum, you're right, Red Sox fan. They tried that show in the United States, and a spin-off of it, or an imitation of it. It was called Beans of Boston. 3rd and 2 to 28, and it never went over well. But the original Are You Being Served was one of the great shows, British comedy. Gain of 11, and Romo of a season high, 312 yards. First and 10 at the 17. The things you talk about on a live stream. Romo's going to scramble here, I think. Nope, he throws it. Touchdown. Tony Hill. And suddenly it's a game again. 3:06 left. Your point after. Good by Bailey. 38-28. I will again watch for the onside kick as Romo has now gone 22-33. 329 yards, a pick, and 4 touchdowns. And his pick was the only time in this game we've had a turnover. And that was taken by one of the upbacks. Green tackled Nelson after a 20-yard return from the 5 to the 25. So it's still a game. 2:59 left. Minnesota's got to be careful they don't turn the ball over here. Peterson, because that's just a break Dallas would need. Gain of 2 yards. DeMarcus Ware, they very alertly they call timeout. See, the AI gets a few times right. Yes, Al Red Sox fan, you're right. They had it was called over here. Are you being served again? And I think in the UK it was called Grace and Favor because they all go run a bed and breakfast, and those were funny episodes too. Medium out to Chris Carter. They were on YouTube at one point.
Encroachment defense. Number 54, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
That is White called for the encroachment. 2nd and 3. Randy White, who was, I think Super Bowl 12 was the only year there were co-MVPs, and it was Harvey Martin and Randy White. Off tackle right, 2nd and 3. Peterson, close to the first down. Will Dallas call time? Yes, they will. 3rd and a yard. 2:47 to go. I'm going to use Tarkenton on a sneak and just make Dallas use their timeouts, win or lose. He gets it. No. He's just short. But Dallas used their last timeout. 4th and inches. Obviously, I'm not going to go for it here. We're going to put Lee back in the game to punt. And Martin ran it back a little ways, 5 yards. Kasulki makes the tackle for Minnesota. 1st and 10 at the 27. 38-28, Minnesota leading. Romo to throw. Looked for Hill, but Bryant, that's Bobby Bryant on the coverage, not Des Bryant, because he plays with Dallas. 2nd and 10 at the 27. Here's Romo. Incomplete, looking for Chris Burford. That was 35 passes on the day so far for Romo. 3rd and 10 at the 27. Romo had a real bad day earlier in the HTFL season against New England.
Number 73, 10-yard penalty.
And Dallas backing up, 3rd and 20. Well, I should have declined it. It would have been 4th and 4. But Dallas probably would have gone for it. Ball to 17. Throw on the left sideline, looking for Irvin, and it's incomplete. 4th and 20, and yeah, Dallas did go for it, so me declining on 3rd down would have gone in vain. Romo to throw. It's going to be short of the first, a gain of 16 for Irvin. Irvin had a great game, 8 catches, 144 yards. Correct, Mousy. Yeah, I was just talking about that the last time Dallas. I had Dallas do an HTFL game thing against New York. That Howley was the only guy who ever was a MVP of the Super Bowl, but yet played on the losing side. Might have to do something with the press box at Miami's Orange Bowl. And that was a gain of 13 yards. I've heard stories about the Miami Orange Bowl press box. And 2-minute warning, by the way, so we're almost done. And Dallas has no timeouts left, so I'm just going to take a knee 3 times. And Minnesota's going to go 7-3 on the year. They will be very much in the hunt for the Northern Conference Championship. It's Minnesota, Green Bay, and Cleveland contending for that. Cleveland played earlier and won over Jacksonville. And we're going to take another knee. It is 3rd and 12. And that's your game. 38-28. Greetings, Super Bowl tournament. Mike in the truck. How are you? We're just about done with the game. But it was 38-28. Minnesota beating Dallas. Minnesota 7-3. And I'll give you Dallas's record in a moment. 401 yards for Dallas. 450 for Minnesota. And Dallas was 3 out of 4 in the red zone. Minnesota 4 out of 7. Turnovers, there was only one, Dallas's. Time of possession, yeah, Minnesota dominated. They had 36-54 of the 60 minutes. Dallas 52 plays. Minnesota had 69 plays. First downs was 25-18. I always like to look at penalties, and Dallas had a rather undisciplined game. 10 penalties, 83. Minnesota 4 for 35. Let's see who took the player of the game honors. I'm going to guess Adrian Peterson. And no, it was Fran Tarkenton. There you see the scoring summary there. Minnesota ran off a whole bunch of unanswered points, 31 of them to be precise, and then Dallas came back a couple of touchdowns to make it look close, but it wasn't close. It was 38-28 Dallas. Showed you the team stats. We'll show you the player stats. Romo 345 passing yards, Tarkenton 313, 144 yards for Irvin, and Minnesota had two guys go over 100. That was Peterson and Moss. And I always like to look at the defensive stats, and we'll get on out of here. Leading tackler was Emerson Walls, and when your leading tackler is a defensive back, that's not usually a good sign at all. So that's your final, 38-28. I might come on camera a little bit and chat for a few minutes, so stand by, folks. Dallas is now 5-5, and when you combine the Upper East with the Lower East, you got a huge fight for the last wild card spot between Philadelphia, New England, and Dallas. New England beat Dallas earlier in the year. It would go to net points. The way it looks now, Philadelphia at +4, New England -3, Dallas -11. So that's going to be a wild chase for the last spot in the Eastern Conference. Meanwhile, Minnesota 7-3, Green Bay plays Las Vegas later, and Cleveland at 7-3. This would be another one that would come down to net points, and Cleveland is leading right now at 92, and Minnesota is at +39, and Green Bay it can only improve if they win. They play, as I was saying, they play Las Vegas later. Oh yes, thank you very much, Al. If you liked what you saw here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're up to 67 subscribers. And let me see here. The next game will be Houston and Kansas City, and that will be tomorrow night, 7:30, either live or on Memorex. Tennessee, St. Louis will be another game we do. Las Vegas, Green Bay, and then Los Angeles and Washington to wrap up the week. So, let me come on here a moment. My chair does not work as well as it used to. So I'll chat with you guys a little bit since you're all in here. No, I just rubbed my nose. I didn't pick my nose. I wouldn't do that on camera, folks. Sometimes I just rub my nose and it looks like I did that. Well, anyway, thank you all for all coming out tonight. This was my highest number of chatters, live chat. It helps if I hit live chat. There we go. And I thank you all for that. And the channel seems to be getting better and better. 67 subscribers, way up from where I was about a month ago or so. The thing about these sports gaming channels, I think, is you just have to build it and build it and build it and build it. And it's like what Kevin Costner said. It wasn't Kevin Costner. It was the voice in Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create a nice little treasure trove of videos that everybody can watch between the HTFL and Grand Slam Wrestling and the OOTP and the franchise hockey manager that I do. So thank you very much. My sincerest thanks for coming on out tonight, and we're going to do it all again tomorrow night. Interesting, isn't it? Fun as always, Paulie. Keep up the good work, my friend. You too, Al. You do a great job on your channel. I've learned a lot from you. I've learned a lot from Uncle Ron in doing these channels and the Pro Strategy Football crew. Very good jobs. Probably the three best in my opinion. Now probably have somebody say, "Well, why don't you include me in all of that?" Well, that's what I'm thinking of top of mind right now. Well, I gotta get on out of here, folks. I thank you all for dropping by. Uh, as I often say, Godspeed and God bless, and we'll do it all again soon.